make this quilted tea towel jacket with me, it requires 5 tea towels, fabric for the lining, and some wadding. I started by removing the hems from the tea towels because they are bulky. You end up with a whole bunch like this. You can keep them, recycle them, use them for something else. For my jacket, I'm using a cotton wadding. So I have 2 single tea towels, one for each jacket front, and for the back, I joined 2 tea towels along the long vertical edge. Not shown is a tea towel cut in half for the sleeves and some pockets cut from the lining fabric. Sandwich the wadding between your tea towel layer and another layer for the lining. I'm using a checked cotton fabric, which is a smart hack because I can use the checks as a guide to sew my quilting lines. Yay? That's called using your noggin. Pin it all together, ready to sew. I'm switching my machine foot out for this Nomi AccuFeed foot, which is their version of a walking foot. If you have a walking foot, I'd recommend using it. And then you start sewing. I usually start in the middle and work my way out, alternating each direction just to kind of keep it all even. I'm not sure if this is how you do it, if this is the right way. I'm not a quilter, but this is what seems to work for me. And you just keep going until you've quilted each piece. On the front and back pieces, I cut a slight shape for the sleeves and the neckline and the front opening. I cut the sleeve shape and pockets. I used a couple of different quilted jacket patterns for these basic shapes, which I'll pop in the links below. When you've done that, you'll have all your quilted jacket pieces, fronts, back, pockets, and sleeves. Next up, I made some binding. I made my own using a bias tape maker and heating it with a hot iron. It's nice to be able to have your own custom binding fabric, but if you don't want the hassle of this, you can also use a wide pre-made binding purchased from a sewing supply shop. Using the binding, I joined the front and back pieces at the shoulders. You place the right sides together, baste a narrow seam to hold in place, and then wrap binding around the basted edge and sew it down. This finish is called a bias bound seam. I've also attached the pockets at this stage. I attached the sleeves in the same way. First, I pinned right sides together, basting, and then binding the seams with the bias tape. This part can be a bit fiddly, but just go slow and keep checking that your bias tape is neat and centered around the edge. Once you've attached the sleeves, sew the underarms and sides together in the same way and then finish by doing a bias bound seam along the opening, bottom edge, and sleeves. And ta-da! This is the final result, a completely unique, one-of-a-kind jacket that is totally you. Thanks for watching, bye!